Hey there, YouTube, it's Justin the Junkie. How the fuck are you guys doing today?
Now tuned into the motherfucking greatest. Turn the music up in the headphones. Tim, you can go and brush your shoulders off, nigga. I got you.
So today, we finally got the Bridgeport milling machine ready to go. We're not ready to fully use the machine yet. We got a couple things to get the thing set up properly and all that stuff, but we are running. Like I said, I got the, the Saunders machine power quill fucking thing on there. We got all that shit. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna stone this table in. We're just gonna make sure that there's no burrs or nothing on the table and all that stuff. And then what we're gonna do is tram the head in. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. We're gonna get the vise on and get it indicated. Okay, then the next video will be the first chip video. But I'm just gonna kind of show you how to get this thing all, it's kind of like when you buy parts from somewhere. Never assume the parts are right. Just fucking never assume. I don't know how this thing was sitting last time that somebody used it, how it was level, so we don't know how the head is trammed in. So what we're gonna do is make sure that everything is perfectly flat and all that stuff, so when we make parts, at least we know we're somewhat fucking accurate. The first thing is I'm gonna show you how to just stone this table. And it's just kind of a lightly, then we'll go over here and stone the vise, and then we will tram the machine in and all that stuff. So the first thing we want to do is just get a little bit of lubricant on there, and I am using this Starrett M1 stuff. I kind of like this for that, alrighty? Because we just want some lubrication on our stone here. So really, you're not trying to put pressure down on the machine, you're just trying to, clean up if there's any rust spots, anything like that, just so there's no burrs on the table. And it doesn't take very much if you periodically do this. Now, I've worked on this table for a couple days now to get it to where it kind of is now, but I'm just going over it, and this is a really fine stone. So we just have to do this. And I can tell that we're pretty flat just by how the stone feels, like it has a good even drag all the way across there. We have no high spots, we got no burrs. We probably got a couple low spots, but I'm really not concerned with the low spots. I just want to, when I put something on the vise, I just want to make sure we're good. Also, if you wanted to clean rust off of it, this is how you would do it. As you can see, it looks pretty good. Okay, so then we'll just take some microfiber towels, wipe this down. All right, this table has a little bit of marks in it. Like right here, this is a low spot. There is a bump there. But basically what I'm looking at is that, 85% of the table looks pretty good. And always the center of your table is where you do most of your work at. That's what it seems like to me. So anyway, that's the table stoned in, kind of deburred. Let's go over here to the vise, and I'll show you what's up with that. So this is the bottom of our vise here, and what we're doing is we want to stone this in too. Okay, we're not too concerned about these. These are the keyways that ride in the slot. What that does is it just makes it a little bit easier to indicate the head in, and I'll show you that. So again, light oil. And we just want to clean up this. Like if there's any nicks in there, what you're doing is you're just knocking the high spots down. So is really all you're doing. And you want to feel like if you guys ever get a Bridgeport milling machine at your house, you just want to feel that you'll know the difference when you feel like you got something stoned in pretty good. I used to have to do this a lot in drag racing on the clutch machine, just because it would take such a beating, you know. So that's where I kind of learned this little thing. And, you know, I've been watching a lot of machinist videos, and this is what all these guys do. So, you know, if they do it, then, you know, we got to do it. And we'll just hit that just to make sure we're completely level. So, there's that. Now, as you can see, I mean, it cleaned it up a little bit. Out here on the edges, it was, you know, it already stoned a little bit more off. You don't want to take the machinist marks off. We're just trying to, you know, get her more level. There is that. I kind of like this Starrett Purpose lubricant. I don't know why. But anyway, all right. So we got that done. Now we need to come over and tram the head in and all that stuff. And I'll show you how to do that. So what I got in here, I got my Starrett. Okay, I got the machine in neutral here so we can spin this all around. All right. I'm going to move the table in just a little bit right there. Okay, now how you tram a Bridgeport milling machine is that we want to make sure the head is completely square to the table this way and this way, if you will. Okay, and I bought this little Starrett tool. It was a couple $100, but again, you guys know that I like high-end tools. Now, not all my tools are Starrett. I have some other Browning and Sharp stuff and some other things. But anyway, this tool lets you do a swing arc this way, this way, this way. You know, you can do whatever you want here. So how we get this set up first here is I got the table in position here, okay? And I'm just gonna run this up till we get it a little bit preloaded. Okay, so as you can see right there, we are completely set at 0, okay? Then you won't be able to see this, but what I'm going to do is lift this up, and I'm going to come over here to the back side. Then what I'm going to do is turn this one to 0 here. I just want to get it as close as possibly can and lock it down. So we are 0 there and 0 there. Okay, we'll pull the 1, 2, 3 block out. We'll take the table up a little bit more. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come to 0 here. Over here on this one, we are 1. Let me get these stupid rings out of the way so I can see. Okay, so we are 1, 2, 3, about 3.5 thousandths off. That's actually more than that. It's about 7 thousandths, if I'm reading this right. Okay. Now, how we gotta do this here is, now that the mill is sitting like this, well, we need to get it like this. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our wrench here. Okay. We're gonna loosen these 4 bolts on the front of the machine, not completely, you know, loose, just a little bit of drag left on them, just so you're not hurting the machine. Okay, now where you make the adjustment is up here, okay? Now what we want to do is we want to split the difference here. So we're going to start coming up, and what do we say? There's completely square. So there's completely square. Now we just want to come over about half the distance, and what it'll do is I like to go to kind of where they're both zeroed out a little bit. Now, what we want to do is tighten up the 4 nuts again. Now this could take 20 minutes, it could take 10 minutes. It's just about how good you are at kind of judging the hash marks, really, is all it is. All right, and I've been playing around with this thing for, you know, a couple days just to get it close. When I first got it, it was 30 thousandths off. That's quite a lot. Okay. Then what we got to do, alrighty, is we'll just roll this up to 0. Okay. And we are 1 thou off right there. So again, we will, I know it's kind of boring to watch a guy fucking tram in a fucking milling machine. But I'm trying to show you guys that, you know, like I said before, my machinist skills are far from fucking excellent. You know, so I'm not saying I'm the fucking greatest here. So we're just gonna, we got some slop in there. We're just gonna move this again. I like to get stuff as close as I possibly can. All right. There's that. Now I'm going to tighten this one up here. All right, we'll just tighten this up. This one always gets hard because it's kind of fucked up. Alright, now we'll come back down and we'll come up. Alright, and we're still a 1/2 thou off. So let me mess around with this a little bit, but you see how to make the adjustment. I'm trying to get it dead nuts perfect, so this could take 30 minutes. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm going to try to get it dead nuts perfect. When I come back, I'll show you how to do the table this way. I messed around with it a little bit, and I think I got it pretty fucking dead nuts. This is about, you know, close enough for the girls that I go out with. As you can tell, we're going up in about the same pattern here. Alrighty, and there is 0 right there, and we are just a cut hair off a little bit this way. But I feel like it's good. I don't feel like there's anything more that I could do. So I'm just going to go around, make sure all the bolts are tight. I mean, if we're off a cut hair, I mean, we're not making shit to go to NASA. So anyway, let's show you how to indicate the other side in. So we'll back this down. We'll back the mill down again. Having power feeds is great. Now what we'll do is we'll come up here. We'll put our 1, 2, 3 block there again. We'll get it preloaded. All right, that was one time. So if you can see this indicator, we're coming up on it here. Right there is 0, okay? Now what we gotta do is, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did before. Come around here, 0 this indicator. So I got that indicator zeroed again. Spin my 1, 2, 3 block out of the way here. And make sure we're on the table. Okay, and then we're gonna come up. All right. Then what we're gonna do is come up here to 0, which I can already say this one is pretty fucking close. All right. We are dead nuts perfect this way. We don't need to mess with this at all. So basically what I'm saying is I'm gonna check this way. Perfect. Check at a 45, should be perfect. Perfect. We are perfect there. So in this whole range of motion, you can see, you know, that we are completely and utterly dead nuts trammed in. Okay? That means that our bit or our drill bit is perfectly square to this table. Okay? Now what we got to do is get the vise on here. and we will indicate that in. So let me get the vise set on here, get it ready to be indicated and all that stuff. But you can see that any monkey can do this. I'm not an intelligent guy. I just understand, you know, trying to get this stuff square as I possibly can. You know, it's just like anything else. You can't build a house on a shaky foundation. Well, you can't machine any parts on a shaky area or stuff that you don't know. So now we know that this is perfectly trammed in. I'm happy with it. Like I said, it's good enough for the girls that I go out with, so we're gonna be good. Alrighty, I got the vise on here, and then where I'm gonna put it, I'm just gonna spray a little bit of this Starrett oil down here. Just to keep, if we ever get any water or, you know, anything moistured in this shop, we got that. Now, I could mount the vise dead in the center, okay, and we could take rid of all these idiot marks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset this vise kind of over here, just a little bit to the left side, to kind of where the vise, the edge of the vise is over there, kind of in line with the center of my table. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe this off. Now, here's something I recommend. This vise came with an extra set of T-nuts, which is awesome, so you don't have to take them out of your hold down set. All right. And I could tell the guy that owned this was a pretty smart dude because he put bolts in it instead of having that stud and washer sticking up. Just gives you a little bit flatter surface. Okay. Then we'll come over here. Now, how this thing was key slotted in there, okay, it helps you line it up right from the beginning. So what we're gonna do is, where's my wrench? We're going to tighten this one down just snug. Okay. Well, no, it must be 3/4 too. Okay. Just going to get this down snug. All right. And then what we will do is we're going to run the machine over. Alrighty, so we ran it over. Now I got to get my vise handle. What the hell I did with that? I need to get a speed handle for this thing. I don't like this vise handle. I would like a, you know, a wheel is what I need. Okay. So we got that on there, and then what I'm doing over here, you can't see it. Need the wrench again. Over here, I'm just putting a little tension on this one, on the other side of the T-nut. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out the set. Let's go ahead and get this trammed, get this table tram, or this vise trammed in, so we know that it's pretty square. Now I am using my, I bought this Starrett last word indicator. Now we got the quill all the way up. Okay, now what we got to do is lower the table here. I'm going to bring this back in. Got to come over some. Too far. Okay. Now we'll bring the table up just a little bit right there. And we're going to go till this hits 0 right here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to run this surface right here to see how square our vise is to the table. Now the keyways make it a little bit easier to adjust this one, but this is a swivel base, so we have to kind of adjust it differently. So then what we do is, we're going the wrong way, we run this down, alrighty, there is 1 thou. Okay, we're off 2.5 thousandths. So what we have to do is loosen up these nuts and tap it 1/1000 over. All the way across that indicator right there. Just like that, there's 0 all the way across there. So this vise is perfectly parallel to the workpiece. Alrighty guys, after much trials and tribulations, I think I got it set perfectly 0. So we'll turn this on and we are rolling back. Now we are perfectly square, okay? Now we got it square on the parallel. I want to check the inside of the vise. Now let's check the inside of the vise here. So the inside of the vise, it's got just a little bit of something on it here, but I think we're pretty much good. I'm going to call that good. So now we have our milling machine trammed in, ready to go, all that shit. Sorry if this was such a long video, or if you didn't find it interesting, sorry, but we have this ready to go now. We're all trammed in, we're perfectly good. We could check, these jaws are a little fucked up, but anyway, we're good. Like I was saying, whew, this stuff's difficult. But alright, now we're ready. So the next time you see this thing, guys, we will be making our first chips. I don't know what I'm going to make. I'm probably just going to take a whole bunch of little practice stuff just to figure out if I can figure out how to use the DRM and all that type of stuff. Alrighty, guys, that's the middle wall trammed in. You know, like I said, this was probably a long video, but I'll try to do what I can to get it figured out here. But anyway, like I said, we're ready to make first chips in the next video and all that stuff. But I feel that we're square and all that type of jazz. So I hope you guys learned something from this video. Like always, check out the Patreon account. Check out onlinetoolvendors.com if you want to purchase any of the tools that you saw. I got all this stuff from Amazon. Most of it, some of it came from MSC, but whatever. All the links will be in the description. I'll roll some cards in. And let's see, you know, check out my Facebook, Instagram, all that bullshit. And like always, thanks for watching. I gotta fucking go.